Welcome back to another episode of The Get Up Girl. I am your gal, Joanna Vargas, and I am here with one of my besties. If you've been here for a while, you have probably heard or seen her pink hair or seen her conversations with me, our conscious conversations, our uniconvos, we're calling them? Uniconvos.
Uniconvos.
Yeah, we got to totally get that URL or something. Somebody might buy it, so I should be quiet. But welcome back, Jeanieva, because I'm going to keep chatting. How are you today, hun?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing great. You know, seeing you, of course, and being here with you always lightens things up for me and brightens up my day. So in this moment, I am doing wonderfully. How are you?
I'm a little scatterbrained because before we hit record, I'm in my busy season right now for work. And usually October, November of each year, gosh, for the past 20 plus years has always been my busy season because I have my events. Yeah. So that's where I am right now. And I do want to throw in, though, it's very different this time around compared to 2019. And so I'm happy for that. It's like a scattered, but not as stressed out. So thanks for asking. But if you're new to the show, welcome. This is Jeanieva Faith. She is a Reiki healer and master and all other things as well. She and I do a bunch of different things. We have 27 hats that we wear. And what we like to do is we just like to chat. We want you to be a fly on the wall so that you can listen in to our girl chats that we have. We love to go to the park. We like to go to the pool and we'll just sit. And this is what we talk about. Today's show is titled How to Get Back Up After Heartbreak. And I thought this would be a perfect topic to talk about, how to get back up. And I wonder, Jeanieva, I'm going to start with this first question. When we get back up after heartbreak, we have some bruises, we've broken some bones, they heal. And I wonder what's the difference why some people heal stronger and some people heal with a chip on their shoulder, so to speak. And then we take on, we'll call it luggage, onto the next relationship, the next partnership. And I've noticed, Jeanieva, that as or people that have had more luggages, you have more stuff to take with you as compared to somebody that has one piece of luggage and somebody that has 10 pieces of luggage because there's been so many frogs, so to speak, to get to our prince. So what have you noticed about getting back up and bringing what you have into the next partnership?
What have I noticed? I have noticed that even though you have healed, I think you're never the same, and sometimes that's a great thing. I'm not the same person who I was before my last heartbreak, and that's awesome. But because we're never the same, sometimes, and we're just not the same. So we're not gonna I think it's inevitable that we're going to bring stuff into our next relationship, not unless we do, what is that movie? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Yes.
I think about that movie all the time. Okay, if I had the choice to do that and forget this person that I loved and forget this experience that I have, would I choose to do that? And
no, yeah.
I don't think I would.
I totally agree. You know what? I just had an aha as you were talking. I know that we use the term luggage as like a heaviness. And actually luggage, we want our luggage. When we go on vacation, you want your luggage. When your luggage gets stuck on the plane, and what do you have to do? You're like, oh my gosh, my luggage got stuck in Chicago and I'm my way to New York. You actually want your luggage. You want the things inside because it completes your vacation. I just had that, but I think of luggage as like, oh, you're bringing all your baggage, your luggage, so to speak. I'm like, no, I want that. So what you said is we're not the same person. Thank God. I have so much gratitude, Jeanieva, for my past partnerships, my past besties. And these are women, men, and everything in between. It's like I have so much gratitude for every person that has helped put a pebble on this journey with me. So with that, Jeanieva, what are some things that you've received from past partnerships that you're like, thank God I learned that. Thank God that person taught me that. Because I have like a bunch. What do you have?
I know I have a bunch too. What an exciting conversation. But I do want to say I love that. I love calling it luggage instead of baggage. So I'm going to take that with me and use it forever because you're
Yeah.
right. Luggage, like
It's
you want to get
light.
cute luggage, your little Louis Vuitton luggage,
Yes.
and you want that stuff because
What?
you want to take that stuff on a vacation with you. So that's great. So thank you so much for that. Um,
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation with my cousin like last night about something similar. And one of the last heartbreaks that I had was about a year ago. I found out that this person had a long-term girlfriend and realized that he was probably a narcissist and I probably put up with a lot more than I should have.
Mhm.
And sometimes I feel stupid, and that's okay. And most of the time, I am so grateful for that experience. I am
Mhm.
so grateful that I'm not the person that I was before I met him. I am so grateful that I had the experience of loving him in a sense and how much I'm different because of that. He was the first man to give me butterflies in my adult life. And now I know that I don't want to settle for anything less, which which is
Yes.
a blessing and also a curse because now I'm like, nope, I'm looking for those butterflies, but I'm
Yeah.
looking for better butterflies because those butterflies were kind of shitty. So
That's good. Butterflies in your adult life, the contrast that you had until we know what we want when we know what we don't want, and vice versa.
yes,
Yeah. One of the things that I took, gosh, I could go through, each partnership, each friendship of my besties and go, oh, I learned this when I was 11. I learned this when I was 19. And one of them was to stop work, Jeanieva, like stop it, meaning 8 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock, whatever it was, that the building's not going to fall down. Your employees are not going, everything's going to be okay. You stop and let's go eat dinner, or stop and let's just veg out and watch television. If I was the same person, Jeanieva, when I was 24, now I would be working 24 hours a day, never sleeping, just go, go, go. And that's who I chose to be. And he really taught me to literally close the computer, and I could be in the middle of something. It's due tomorrow. It's all good. And everything always worked out. It always, until this day, I'm like, I'm done. I could care less. I don't care what emails are coming through. I'll take care of it at 5 a.m. when I wake up tomorrow. So then people know I'll text them in the morning, rather than like I could hear the cell phone going off at 10 o'clock. Nope, not going to look at it. So that was one of the biggest gifts I received. And everybody listening, I want this conversation, Jeanieva, right? And everybody listening to have so much gratitude rather than like a bitch session of what happened in the past. And I notice sometimes we can get into those bitch sessions and go, oh, this was horrible. And I love how you brought up this 1 year ago past relationship, how it was such a gift. You're like, I wouldn't have changed it. I'm glad I had it. Right. So I think that's great, because I think most people would choose and say, oh, no, I wish this never happened to me. He did this to me, and play the victim and go, wow, what a gift. Any other gifts, Jeanieva, that you've received? Because I think by listening to cues, people can go, oh, I never saw it that way.
I'm sure. I mean, every relationship, friendship, is a gift. Like sometimes it just takes longer for us to see the gift, and sometimes the gift is in their absence. Um,
Wow.
one of the, a couple of years ago, I had a very, like, probably the most heart-wrenching breakup of my life. And, I've shared that with you. And I, I was so mad. I was so mad at God. Like, I could have gone my whole life without knowing what this kind of love felt like, and I would not have missed it. Why did you do this to me? Like, why did you show me what this feels like just to take it away? And I was so angry. And now I can see that maybe it was a gift to know what's out there, to know that love like that is possible. So I'm not going to say that I don't like think about it every now and again, like why did I have to experience that? I could have gone my whole life not knowing what true love feels like, but what a gift that I do know what true love feels like.
What a gift, Jeanieva. I'm just smiling from ear to ear because I totally get it. Like, so much gratitude. Thank you for showing me what how a man can treat a woman and what I would like and what I don't want, etc. But before a couple relationships, I didn't know. So I thought this was the best. This is how it is supposed to look like, or whatever you want to put energy to, that until like, oh, this is what it actually feels like to feel like taken care of and nurtured and feeling nourished. I'm really loving those two N words, nourish and what?
Nurtured.
Nurtured. Thank you. I guess kind of the same. It's the same thing. But the nourishment of the gentleness, the I'm just going to go with gentle. I didn't know what gentle was until a few relationships. And now I'm like, oh, that. And meeting other people before I met partner now, it's like, oh, no. I want that. And Jeanieva, if I didn't have those in the past, I know I would have chosen those past men before my current relationship, current partnership, because I didn't have the contrast. And I would have said, oh, they're good enough. They treat me good. And I'm like, oh no, I want an A++. I want a 5.0 GPA. I don't want a 3.9. I want a 5.0 GPA. Yeah. Woo. This is so good. With that, Jeanieva, I know it takes a lot of courage. Love the C word, courage. To be patient, to be open, to be willing, to, I don't want to say wait, but it's that energy of waiting or being open, like a vessel for that person to come in. What comes up for you for that? Because a lot of courage.
Yeah, totally. And I love that C word, and I love the other C word too, but that's for another thing. Yes, courage. And I think that reminding ourselves that it is super brave to have patience for this is great. I know I remind myself of that often. But there are, also to have allowance for yourself, because there are going to be some days where you're just pissed, like you're going to look through your app and just be like, oh, I just want to throw it across the room, like there are going to be those days, and that's okay. It's the important thing is to not unpack your luggage and stay there.
That's good. That is a meme, girl. I lit up in my body before I met my current partner. I remember you and I were on a call with a couple other girls. This was the height of the pandemic. We were doing virtual calls like every Friday. And I was so angry. I was so jealous, was so pissed off. If I saw one more happy couple on Instagram, I was going to vomit. And it was about 5 minutes of just like, I can't stand this. And I stopped in my tracks. This was not in the call. This was, on my couch when everything was in lockdown. And I got really curious and I asked, what is this? There's information here. What is this, Joanna? And I got the awareness, and with so much allowance, but the awareness that I would like that. I would really like that. It wasn't about jealousy. It was like, I would really like that. And I know it's out there. And are you willing to release the jealousy? And at that moment, that fast, I just released it. But I also told all of you gals about it. And like, I needed to just let it out, and without lying. I had to say it. Yep. I hate every single woman that's in a relationship. I want to punch her. And I think, Jeanieva, we don't use our anger as potency. We think that the anger is, don't get angry, do this, like we're the Dalai Lama. And it's like, what if the anger is actually potency? It's actually strength, and to throw a tantrum. And I don't think if I ever did that, I think I would have still held on to that animosity and without releasing it, so that he could come into my life. So what about that for you, hun? Like when you get the anger and just like, I'm so fed up and I don't want to have the courage right now. For anybody that is listening.
I think that for me, I allow myself to feel that. Be like, okay, this is here. So I'm going to be angry today. And that's just what it's going to be. You know,
Yeah.
I don't talk myself out of it. I just let it be. And
Yeah.
when I let it be, I can see that I can come out of it more smoothly and more quickly. You know, even yesterday, I'm on an app, and you know the resistance I have to these apps, but whatever, it's there. And earlier in the day, I was uh, just, just like so annoyed and just not having very kind thoughts about these gentlemen. And I just allowed myself to feel that. And then a couple hours later, I'm like, I'm going to scroll and I am going to say a little prayer for each one that comes up and hope that they find what they're looking for. And I just got into a different energy, and I sent them all well wishes and good luck and all of that good stuff. But I had to have that experience of being really angry to get
Hmm.
there. And I'll get there. And it's important too to, when you're going through something, to know that it's not forever, that it's temporary, to remind yourself about the impermanence of emotions. And yeah.
I love how you said when you feel it or lean into it, you're able to come out a little quicker. I know that's for
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Let's revisit my 20s and fighting everything. And everything was just longer. It was much more prolonged. If I was angry, let's say a level 1 to 10, Jeanieva, 10 being the biggest anger. And I'm like, I'm going to keep it at a 1 because I'm just going to mask it and I'm going to push it down and I'll push it down because I'm a badass and I'm tough, etc., etc. So now I'm at a 1, but I'm going to be at a 1 for like 6 months. Rather than I'm going to be at a 10 for 5 minutes and you better get out because I am going to punch you. I'm going to throw a million F bombs. And when I say a million, I literally mean a million, like 1 million. F this, F you, F her, F that. And then all of a sudden, cool, I feel better. 5 minutes, or take a shower and then I'm yelling in the shower. I will take Jeanieva 5 minutes over 6 months of a 1, where the 1 I didn't even know was there. I can see it now. And at that time, I didn't see it. Oh, I'm fine. I'm good. It was so minute and so silent, not knowing that it's there. But a 10, you can't silence a 10. And I really would love to invite people to lean into their anger, its potency, it's and I'm not just anger. I'm going to say every emotion. Lean into it and go, what is this? Like, get curious. What is this? And I noticed that we say happiness is good, anger is bad, happiness is positive, anger is negative. And I'm like, really? Because man, when I have anger, it so creates more for me, Jeanieva. It creates so much more. It was not fun for those 5 minutes. Well, yeah, I take that back. It is a little fun. Wait, you get what I'm saying? And I'm like, I call BS. I call opposite on what I was taught. I call opposite. Everything's opposite, opposite, opposite. And that's what helps me get up after heartache, is feeling every single emotion. Because in other heartbreaks where I was hurt, I was feeling the 1 for like years. And then I would take in the baggage, not the luggage. I brought in the baggage. And the more I actually feel everything, there's less baggage I'm taking into the partnerships and more of the luggage. The things that I do want. I want my hair dryer. I want my eyeliner. I want my wrap. I want my cute undies, right? But I don't need that and I don't need that. You get what I'm saying? I mean, what do you think about
Yes.
that? That's kind of fun.
Yeah, and I love that because I was never comfortable with anger. I grew up in a home where I needed to repress my emotions or suppress them. And so when I get angry, I cry. I turn my anger into sadness. But I love that because, yeah, there is a lot of potency in anger, and it's okay. And, you know, like you were saying, it's not a positive, negative emotion, you know, it's all emotion and it all can be good. So I've been leaning into my anger a little bit more, even if it's just by myself in my shower or yelling at my phone or having a vent sesh with your bestie, leaning into it. And also,
Keep going.
yeah, no,
No,
it's okay. I
continue.
forgot.
Oh, you forgot. Do you think, Jeanieva, that we, besides our upbringing, do you think we mask our anger because of what other people, and I already know it's a yes, but what other people think of that anger? For example, I get angry and let's say my boyfriend says, "Oh no, what's wrong?" And he has to fix me. And I'm like, there's nothing to fix when I'm angry. Just have the allowance for me to be angry. And I notice that I will hold back emotion when there's people around me that are unable to receive that emotion. They're trying to change me. So don't get angry. Don't say this. You could only always be happy, Joanna. And I'm like, well, this ain't gonna work, because I need your allowance to allow me to be all of me. The angry, the this. And when I'm angry, I will return to that happy Joanna. And it has nothing to do with you. And so do you think that we mask it more often because of the people around us wanting to fix us?
Totally. And I think also, you know, growing up in a patriarchal society where you're a girl and you can't get angry, because if you get angry, then you're a bitch, or, you know, like, so there's that component. But also, yeah, like you were saying, people feel like they need to fix you. Especially men, and, you know, bless their hearts, they want to fix things, but it is the worst when you're like, I'm sad today, or I'm angry today, and like you were saying, well, what's wrong? How can I fix it? You can just be here and listen to me, or you can go away. But I don't need to be fixed. Thanks, though.
Jeanieva, that's good. The what's wrong. I was just talking to Patrick about this, but when we ask somebody what's wrong, what we're actually saying is there's something wrong with you. Let's fix it.
Yes.
That's what it means. And I want everybody listening, let's see if we can omit that what's wrong from our vocabulary and ask, what's going on? Hey, what's up? See the difference in the energy rather than what's wrong? And when I'm crying or I'm angry and somebody says, what's wrong? I look at them, I go, nothing's wrong. And they're like, you're lying. I go, well, yes, I'm angry, but there's nothing wrong. You get it? And I remember
Yes.
being a young girl, Jeanieva, and my dad or my mom like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I'm like, nothing's wrong. You know, and I'm crying, nothing's wrong. Because I really meant nothing's wrong. I'm just sad. I'm not wrong. I'm just sad. And we, you know, adults mean well, but that's what they're articulating to us. So we take that on as tears are wrong. I mean, how many times do you see someone cry and the first thing they say is, I'm sorry? You could watch it on television all day long. I'm sorry. They apologize all the time. And I'm like, I would love to live in a world where tears are potent and just as beautiful as a laugh. Because I don't apologize when I'm going to laugh, but we apologize when we cry. I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. And, you know, so what's wrong, if we can omit that and ask, what's up? Or what's going on? What's going on? Instead of what's wrong? Because there is nothing wrong with that anger. And I was telling my clients about that the other day, like it's potent, man. And they're like, I like that word. Potent is like a fun word to use, right? Rather than your tears are strength. That's like, yeah, we've heard that before, but your tears are potent. I'm like, I'll take that. Yeah. Like that just sounds more fun rather than, you know, we are strong. And sometimes the cliche, say it again, Joanna, the cliches, I wonder, can only take us so far. And we hit a glass ceiling. We're like, okay, so here at the Get Up Girl, I want to give you different tools, different possibilities. That's my ultimate mission in life, you know? So anyway, that's so good. Okay. Couple more minutes, because I do want to ask one big juicy question. What's one big tool after getting up after heartache, Jeanieva, that you can share with the listeners Now, when I say heartache, I don't just mean lovers, partnership. I could mean a bestie, maybe your business, you close your business. That's heartache. I've closed many businesses and that's heartache. I mean, it's like, oh, these are my babies. Maybe you move and you miss your house. That's heartache. Like, how do you get back up after that? One big tool for everybody listening.
The feeling, you have to feel it to free it. Just leaning into it and not feeling it, that 1 for 6 months, but feeling it that 10 for a shorter amount of time. That's the advice that I give to my clients, and that's the advice that I give to myself. And when I do have clients who come in to me trying to work through a relationship, the best advice that was ever given to me, and this goes, across the board for different things, is love him or love them until you don't. Don't force yourself to hate him. Don't force yourself to be over it. Love him until you don't. And of course, that doesn't mean that you accept shitty behavior, but internally, like, love them until you don't. Because if you're resisting your feelings, if you're like, no, but he did this shitty thing to me and I have to be angry and I have to get over it and I have to get over it, you're creating that resistance, and then it takes longer to get over. So love them, love it, love him, love her until you don't.
Wow. That was so powerful. And I wonder if you ever stop loving, or it's a different type of love, because you said until you don't. And everybody listening, like, whatever resonates with you, take with what works. I love what you just said. Oh, wow. Like, what came up for me, Jeanieva, is like, love them until there's less charge, something like that for me, right? And so take like a buffet, what works for you. Ooh, that was so good, because I've noticed that when it's like I cut him off, or cut him, her, person, place, thing, yeah, it cuts me off. It's like cutting off my own arm, and I have to divorce myself in order to divorce something else. I'm like, I don't want to divorce myself. And divorce means, to part. What if we're not divorced still? We're still together, just not physically together. I'm moving this through my mind as we're talking. That was really, really helpful. Yeah. Ooh, so good. One thing for me that helps get up after heartache is very similar to yours. Like, getting curious, asking questions, and leaning into all of it. Leaning into all of it. Having the tantrums, having the laughter, having the gratitude. Because I'm at a place now for all relationships, all partnerships, that whenever it comes up, when you're in the shower, you're driving, and that past partnership will just pop in your head, and you're like, ah. And then at that moment, like, oh my gosh, I have so much gratitude to you. Thank you so much. I pretend that they're sitting right there with me. Thank you so much. The house that I lived in, thank you so much. I miss you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, as if I'm talking to someone that is right there with me. And so that helps me, rather than before I'd be like, oh, man, if I saw them right now, I would do this. I'm like, wait, Joanna, is that really true? What is that? And it just doesn't ring true for me. And all I do is just fight myself and end up cutting off my arm in order to keep that solid, to hate or dislike or be unkind to that person. And that's more work. That's a lot more work.
Yeah.
That 1% to keep for so long. Yeah. Wow. This was so good. So great. Well, where can everybody find you if anybody's new to the show? I know
you can find me on I'm sorry, say that again.
Facebook. Go for it.
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Jeanieva Faith Official. My website is jeanievafaithofficial.com, and you can find me here on Facebook. And
Yeah, Jeanieva posts a lot. DM her, tag her on this episode, tag me, Jeanieva Faith Official, very similar to mine. Mine's Joanna Vargas Official. Yeah, and she got the website URL. I love that. I'm like, I think I got to steal that. I want Joanna Vargas Official.com. It's fun because when I give my handle to people, they're like, oh, you're official. Yep, but they remember. They so remember my handle. They will not forget. So follow Jeanieva. You could see her beautiful pink hair. It's like so gorgeous. Yes, so cute, so fun.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for chatting about, how to get back up, new and different possibilities, and having so much appreciation for our luggage and changing baggage. And I just thought of this. We can think of luggage as light for LL, and B, we just need like B for bad. Baggage for bad, and we want luggage is light, because I don't know anybody who travels without luggage. You want your luggage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love
that.
Big aha for me. Thank you all for listening. And if you want different in your life, remember to choose different. Get back up with more love, more gratitude, and more fun and more curiosity. And we'll see you next time. Bye.